He's super polying me. Eh. You win. You got me. You got me. Son. What's going on, everyone? Guns blazing back at it again, and welcome to my tutorial on how to legally cheat in Master Duel. So, my opponent pops right, gets his token, gets his Fateful. I go ahead and Ogre the Fateful. Let's skip through this a bit. So, it's a pretty basic turn. He has to go Link Spider into Tuner so that he can go into Hulk now. Try to finish his combo off like that. Of course, I'm going to Ash the Hulk. And what do you know, this guy also has Fusion Destiny on top of everything, and so that's going to be a problem. One set, and here's where the play in question happens. So, I know if I set 4 and end my turn, he's going to DPE pop one. Now, to reduce RNG, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to set one card that I need the least, Dinomorphia Sonic, because I know he's going to pop it if I end my turn. But I'm not ending my turn. I am actually going into my battle phase, but he doesn't know that. All he sees is I'm ending my main phase, because that's the prompt the game gives you. The opponent is ending their main phase, or it's before the end of the main phase.
And so he's thinking, opponent set a card, there's no monsters, so surely this is him ending his turn, right? So he makes the mistake of popping his DPE early. He easily could have waited until the actual end phase.
He also pops his Hulk to get into his Coral Dragon, and I have entered my battle phase. Actually, the game gives me the option to continue even my main phase at this point.
And the reason you don't straight up enter end phase is because he might not take this bait.
If he doesn't pop anything at the end, then I'm actually shafted. Like, I can't continue to set stuff. Which is rarely gonna happen, but just in the case it does, at least if you do this, you're not boned. And so now, I get to go main phase 2, set all the cards I want. Okay. So, we'll talk about this later. Let's finish this duel first. He Dasher summons his Crusadia Arborea, and of course gets his DPE back. It will matter when he chooses to pop this, but of course, I'm toggled on. I'm just gonna use Dinomorphia Domain here, because I can make a play even without waiting for him to use his DPE. Nemesis Corridor, though, also, that's gonna be a problem later. I'm just going to use Gina's effect to summon another Gina. They're going to be at 16 right now. I'm going to pop Ferret Flames here. This will force him to shuffle monsters into his deck until the combined total is less than my life points. And so what I'm expecting here is that he chains DPE and goes for my back row. And in that way, I would be able to pay Solemn, pay 1500, get down to 500. Then he has to shuffle everything back in. But what he ends up doing is not popping the DPE and then using Celestial effect after, so I still have my Solemn Strike for this. Go ahead and use that, prevent the 2 draws. And now they're both at 3500. He of course gets his Colossus, but that's not too much of a problem. I can just swing over it, and I pick up the Ash Blossom here, nice pickup. He can protect it once, but he can't protect it twice. Pass his turn. I get another Domain. And at this point, there's not much he can do. He does go for this Jet Synchron Almirage play to get another Hulk, but I have the Ash for that. And no Call by the Grave, so he's out.
So this was all made possible because he was deceived into thinking I was ending my turn.
Alright, first of all, I'm aware that this kind of bait would probably be way less convincing IRL, just imagining it. And of course, the opponent could even ask, well, are you going to battle or end? But the question is, do you even have to specify that? And the weird thing about this scenario is I looked it up, and there's some discussion here about whether you have to say you're entering battle phase or just say you're ending the main phase. So TLDR, this guy's like, either works, but down here it references the rule book that says the turn player should announce, I'm entering battle phase. And let's look at that. Does it actually say that? Yeah, here. So the turn player should announce, I'm entering battle phase. But it says should and not must, and so people are like, would a judge even enforce that? Now, Master Duel, of course, as we saw, doesn't specify if you're going into battle, but if you're familiar with the recent fateful adventure, quote unquote, legal cheating, then you know Master Duel sometimes leave out important information whether intended or not. Anyways, feel free to let me know your thoughts and stances on this, and enjoy these Dino Mommy Milkers. Updated deck list in the description. We tweaked it a lot from yesterday's video based on your suggestions. My deck doesn't really care about Max C, it's just one. It's a maximum 1 Max C. There are Dino Waifus and Dragon Waifus, but you're my waifu. How sweet. How sweet of you. And you know what? I activate this just so Ferret Flames can get rid of this if I wanted to. Chimera into Chimera. Oh, sir. Oh, sir, your monster's puny. You know what? I have the balls to summon this. I have the balls to summon this in the face of adversity. Sure. And I have the balls to lower my life points even further. Oh, whoops, I forgot to set my second domain. He's super polying me. Eh. You win. You got me. You got me. Son. Wait. He has a response to this? No, he doesn't. It's just him selecting. This is gonna piss him off.
Sonic boom!
Keep paying. Keep paying. He's set. The Veiler. Imagine getting crushed in between these thighs. In between these thighs. Keep paying. Wait, the timing was wrong, dude. The whole Sonic Boom song ended and the duel's still going. Awkward. Okay, there you go. Okay, so the big changes from last time are we added the triple Duality Prosperity package, and this gives the deck a lot of consistency. You can even use both on the same turn, and it's prioritized even over Fossil Dig because you're not limited to just your monsters. Getting a good balance of Domain plus some counter traps is really important too, and it can also eat the Ash Blossoms. We cut down a lot of our Archetype traps, so Alert and Brute down to 1. I'm kind of feeling that, plus the Sonic at 2. Skills Drain down to 1, and that this slot is either Summon Limit or Rivalry. They're both good for locking the opponent down. We can now afford to run a lot of things at 1 or 2 because again we have Duality and Prosperity, which makes the deck a lot more consistent. Then we have the 3 Solemn Strikes, and I went ahead and crafted these, which was painful, but adds a lot of security to the deck, especially another way to ensure that your domain goes through an Ash. And yes, it's not halving, it's paying 1500 flat, but you can still use it if you have a Stealthbergia on the board. And we benched Hope for Escape for now, the draw 3 trap, because as poggers as drawing 3 is, it doesn't do much for the current turn, it's pretty slow. Still like Ferret Flames though, it's really powerful once it's primed to clear the opponent's entire board, and we had to make room for 3 more hand trap slots, because going second was a nightmare with this deck. Okay, that's it. So here's Exhibit A of the pots, both putting in work. I'm only gonna banish 3 with this Prosperity because I already have a Therizia in hand, but I managed to pick up a Solemn Strike from this, and the Duality managed to pick up a Solemn Judgment. Of course, the opponent has knowledge of this, but either he can play through it or he can't. And this is why it's the pots over Fossil Dig, because those pots netted us a couple of extra negates, while Fossil Dig wouldn't have gotten us anything. I don't know why he dropped this Therizia. I think he was trying to bait out the Judgment, but of course I'm not gonna play that. Normal summons a Vion, I'm gonna go ahead Solemn Strike that. Use Kentregina to summon Kentregina. And now welcome to your duel puzzle. I don't have lethal on board, short by 1000. How could I have ended this duel this turn if I wasn't a Bonobo? I'll give you your bedroom stamina time in seconds to think about it. Okay, time's up. The play is to normal summon my Ash Blossom and Solemn it, so that my Gina and Gina both gain 625 attack. If you didn't catch that, don't worry, I didn't either, and that's why we have the replay system, so that we can reflect on how puny our brains really are. Bro, I can just chain it. Come on now. I get ashed. Feels good. Feels great. Great day. Any Kagari Solemners? I bet it would really piss him off. Okay. Yeah, let me do this now. You get a domain. Wait, this is GG. This is actually GG. Open, wait. The hell? Diplos? Okay, no Ash in this game. Look at this. Look at this attack. Imagine pen and papering that. Your 2002 locals. And calculators didn't even exist back then. Huh, it got veilered. Let's go for some crazy box, crazy plays, baby. Crazy box. Or, oh, wait, that's the best one. That's wild. It can negate itself so it can attack. And now it can be a nice fat Zeus. Beautiful, so beautiful. Castle of Dark Illusions. That one's a classic.